interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. A nuclear attack is occurring against the United States. 4 nuclear missiles have been launched from unknown locations and are expected to strike the United States within the next 15 minutes. Due to the uncertain tracks of these missiles, all residents of the United States should seek out and prepare to take shelter immediately. If you know of a nearby location that has been designated as a fallout shelter, go there now. Otherwise, go to a basement or other interior room on the lowest floor of the building. Do not use elevators. Lock all windows, and place as many objects between yourself and the outside as possible. Have a battery-powered radio for your stay in the shelter. Tune to stations providing news and information for your area. The President will be speaking on all stations shortly. Stand by for this message. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air to provide news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is KMBC. We will continue to serve the Kansas City area. If you are not in this local area, you should now tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Kansas City area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air to provide news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is KCMO. We will continue to serve the Kansas City area. If you are not in this local area, you should now tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Kansas City area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air to provide news and information.
Stand by for a message from the President of the United States.
Citizens of the United States, deep down, we have always feared the worst in these tumultuous times. We have survived many threats and attacks in the past. However, one of the biggest fears is being realized right now. New nuclear missiles have been launched and are currently heading for the United States. We don't know who will be affected, but one thing is certain. There will be many lives lost. However, this does not mean we should lose hope. By taking some basic actions, we can persevere and emerge victorious. In order to achieve this, we need to prepare for what is ahead. Right now, I strongly encourage you to take the following actions. Get to an underground shelter and protect yourself. Cover your head and brace for potential impact. Once this is passed, stay inside until an all-clear signal is given. Follow the instructions and guidelines given by emergency management. Also, stay off headed phones. These lines should be kept open for emergency use. If you make an unnecessary phone call, you may be endangering someone who actually needs it. Most importantly, stay calm in this situation and respect your fellow man, as this is the only way we will survive. While we may be crippled by this attack, America will not be broken.
You have just heard a message from the President of the United States. We are currently under attack, and are preparing for a direct strike of nuclear missiles to the country. This is KCMO, and we will not be providing news and information specifically for the Kansas City metro area. If you are not in this area, you should now tune to station providing news and information for your area. For residents of the Kansas City metro area, here is some information for our area. As we know of at this time, no locations that have currently been designated as safe fallout shelters. For this reason, the best plan of action is to go to your basement. You should place as many objects between you and outside as possible. This includes file cabinets, bookshelves, walls, and desks. If you have time, board up windows. Stay inside until an all-clear signal is given. If you are taking shelter in your homes, unplug all electric devices, and turn off electricity and gas after you have formed your shelter. Make sure you are using a television or radio that is running on batteries only. If a member of your family is currently at another location tonight, do not leave your homes to get them. They will be taking their own precautions at this time. It is highly unlikely that you will have enough time to get them. If you are currently on the road, and this is very important, get out of your vehicles and find a shelter now. Go to the lowest level of the nearest sturdy structure. If you are in a high-rise building, get to the lowest floor. Do not use any elevators. If electricity goes out, you might get stuck. Use the stairs instead. Do not call 911. Unless you have a real emergency. Leave that for someone that actually has a life-threatening emergency. More importantly, even if a missile does not strike near the area, the risk for fallout will exist. When the missile explodes, radioactive particles will rise into the air and can spread for hundreds of miles. This is the primary reason for creating these sheltered areas. A normal basement may not be enough protection from fallout. At any moment, the nuclear missiles could make impact. We don't know the exact locations that they will hit, but the following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. It has been determined that there are now 6 nuclear missiles headed for the United States. At this time, it is expected that these missiles will strike near the following cities/areas: Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, New York City, St. Louis. If you have not done so, seek out a fallout shelter or find a sturdy building and go to the lowest floor. If you do not live near these locations, stay in your shelter and brace for the possible effects of fallout. Stay tuned to this station for further updates.
As you have just heard, it has now been confirmed that there are a total of 6 nuclear missiles heading for the United States, and one of them is heading for the city of St. Louis. While Kansas City is in the clear from direct impact right now, the fallout risk still exists. Also, the tracks are not exact. The missile may land much closer than anticipated. Stay in your shelters until the all-clear signal has been given. Here is some additional information for the area. Do not call 911 unless you have a real emergency. Kansas City EMA is reporting major problems with the 911 system. In fact, unless you have an emergency, do not use any phone lines, whether they are land or cell. For obvious reasons, do not try to go out in a vehicle. According to police, there are many abandoned vehicles along the roads. Driving is near impossible right now. If you are on the road, get inside a building right now. If you are in your shelters, make sure you are using radios or televisions that are running on batteries only. We will continue to provide local updates for as long as we can. If we go off of the air, this is a strong sign that you should get into shelter immediately. Stay tuned to this station. For those of you just tuning in, or have not heard, a nuclear attack is taking place in the United States. 6 missiles are heading towards the country, and one is expected to strike near the city of St. Louis, which is only a few hundred miles away. Emergency management and the President have advised that all residents to get to an underground shelter now, so that you are better protected from nuclear fallout. If we receive any additional reports on this situation, we will bring them to you immediately. It seems that this station is starting to lose power. We will stay on the air as long as we can.